In this presentation, we are going to discuss about the access opening in posterior teeth. Let's begin with premolars. The pulp chamber of the premolars is generally oriented buccolingually, so the shape of the access cavity is also in a buccolingual direction. Now one must keep in mind that the burr used in penetration phase should not create a parallel walled tunnel, rather drilling towards the dentin. It should create a funnel-shaped cavity using a slight helical motion. In upper first premolar, 60% of the cases are of two canals, usually the same length, in two separate roots, whereas in upper second premolar, 60% of the cases has a single root with a central ovoid canal. The lower first premolar, given its great anatomical variability, may be very challenging. Due to this, it is often referred to as enigma of endodontist, and lower premolars generally have a lingually tipped root. Now let's see the access opening in maxillary molars. Preparation of access cavity in maxillary molars begins at the central fossa with a round diamond burr. The burr should be then oriented towards the palatal canal, which is the largest, and so it is easy to get a burr drop. Once you get the burr drop, we extend the outline. The outline is rounded triangular in shape with the base towards the buccal side and apex on the palatal side. The first canal to be identified will be the palatal canal, and then the distobuccal canal, which is closest to the palatal canal. The mesiobuccal canal is located more mesially and buccally. The mesial marginal ridge should be as thin as possible, because extra canals or roots can be located in this area. The orifice of the MB2, more appropriately named mesiopalatal canal, is located on the groove that joins the palatal and mesiobuccal canals at a variable distance from the latter. To locate MB2, first of all, strongly believe that MB2 is always present. Always use magnification for better visualization. Use ultrasonics to remove the dentin shelf and follow the dentinal maps. Now let's see how an access is done in mandibular molar. Here also our primary goal is to get a burr drop to the largest canal, that is the distal canal. So the burrs should be oriented in a distal direction, aiming the distal orifice. Move the burr slightly buccally and lingually to locate any additional distal canals. Now from the distal side, move the burrs to the central pit area. Imagine a line joining the mesiobuccal and mesiolingual canals. From the central pit area, now move the burr to the lingual side to explore the mesiolingual canal. After that, come back to the center, move to the buccal side to explore mesiobuccal canal. This completes the triangular outline of lower molars. In the presence of additional distal canals, the shape of the cavity may be trapezoidal or quadrangular with rounded corners. In about 25% of the cases, there will be middle mesial canal in between mesiobuccal and mesiolingual canals. A sound knowledge about root canal anatomy is essential for planning access cavity. While removing tooth structure, a conservative approach should be applied, especially in the posterior teeth. That's all about the access cavity preparation. Thank you.